Welcome back. A day after backing former Lok Sabha Speaker P.A. Sangma's candidature for the presidency, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha today asked all the parties to rise above political considerations and support the tribal leader for the top job. During the past 60 years, while eminent personalities belonging to various communities and diverse walks of life have graced their office at Rashtrapati Bhavan, no one belonging to the tribal community has had the opportunity so far, Jayalalitha had said. She had also held consultations with her Odisha counterpart Naveen Patnaik, besides within her party, before announcing her support to Sangma, who himself had called her on May 15th. Former Lok Sabha Speaker P.A. Sangma may have got the backing of BJP and AIADMK for the presidential race, but his party NCP has ruled out any support. Sangma, who met NCP chief Sharad Pawar this morning, who told him that the party is a part of the UPA and his stand on the issue will be consistent with it. At the same time, Pawar, who is also the Union Agriculture Minister, said that they would discuss all the suggestions given by Sangma. On his part, Sangma explained to him that he was part of a forum which was pushing for a tribal leader to become the next president.
The party has given a very categorically said that we are for the consensus and we are the part and parcel of the UPA. So unless UPA reaches to any consensus, we cannot say anything.
Amid sharp slowdown, plunging rupee, weak stock markets and growing global economic worries, the government is planning to put in place a series of austerity measures for ministers to curtail expenditure. Government may issue orders for a strict compliance of orders issued in the previous years. Government is to issue orders to enforce 10% cut in budgetary allocation for holding seminars, workshops and conferences. Ban of holding meeting and conferences at 5-star hotels. Ban on purchase of vehicles except for defence and paramilitary forces. Restrictions on foreign travelling and adhering to the quarterly ceilings for foreign travel expenses.
On one hand, when the government talks about austerity, the government fails to recall that it has a responsibility towards inflation. It has a responsibility to see that there are no scams in this country. The government has a responsibility that it is accountable to the people of this country. It has an FRBM Act which has to be under a statute, has to be followed. So the government has to be more accountable and responsible than expecting this to happen from other people. I think it's just a wishy-washy effort by the government to distract and move away from its own failures.
Government has to review its economic policies, and government will have to take course correction, because on one hand government is doling out huge concessions to corporate houses, the rich. On the other hand, government taxing the poor, the common people. Government tries to raise its revenue through indirect taxes. So the austerity measures, yes, it can give an indication to the people. Government is serious. Government is worried about the present state of economy. But this alone will not help the economy to recover. There, the finance minister will have to address macro level economic and financial policies.
Some sort of austerity measures to convey the signal that we are responding to the situation is needed. I don't want to press the panic button.
Owing to pressure from women activists, the government has made some crucial amendments to the divorce laws. It is giving women half a share in the husband's residential property, irrespective of whether it was acquired before or during the marriage. The amendment was cleared by the Union Cabinet on Thursday. The wife's share in other assets owned by her husband, movable and immovable property, has been left to the discretion of the judge. Another amendment cleared by the Cabinet allows for the 6-month cooling period required for divorce filed under mutual consent to be waived off by the judge only if both the husband and the wife agree. In the original bill, the period could be waived off even if one of the parties sought it. Another feature that was opposed by the BJP and the left besides women's groups. Moving on, triggering speculation about his next political move, sulking BJP Karnataka strongman B.S. Yediyurappa opened his public contact office but maintained that he had no intention to topple his party's government in the state. The former chief minister's new venture comes amid the crisis in the ruling BJP, which had almost reached a flashpoint a few days ago. Mr. Yediyurappa had said that he deferred his decision to quit the party. The office, which is called the Public Meeting Centre, has come up at Malleshwaram, which had earlier housed the State Unit BJP office before it moved to a new building. The filing of nominations for the Pudukkottai constituency, that is to face the by-polls on the 12th of June, began today. On the day one of filing nominations, DMDK candidate Zakir Hussain and a few independents filed their papers. 25th is the final day for filing nominations, and the papers are scrutinized on the 26th, and the finalists get released on the 28th of this month. It's clearly a two-cornered fight between the AIADMK candidate Karthik Tondaiman and DMDK candidate Zakir Hussain. On day one of filing papers, DMDK candidate and an independent candidate called Election King, who's been tirelessly contesting more than 100 by-elections, also filed their papers. More than 2,000 policemen are deployed in the constituency, and CRPF forces will also be deployed. Moving on, the houses of former Tamil Nadu Minister I. Periyasamy and his family members were searched by anti-corruption wing officials today in connection with the disproportionate assets case against him. The DVAC sources say that a case was registered in March against Periyasamy on the allegation that he has accumulated movable and immovable assets in his name and in the name of his family members, which was disproportionate to the tune of Rs 1.19 crore to his known sources of income during the period from May 13, 2006 to March 31, 2010, while he was a state revenue minister. As a part of the investigation, searches were conducted at Periyasamy's residence, at the house of his son IP Senthilkumar and daughter Indira, besides the latter's office at Gain Up Industries, all of which are located in Dindigul.
திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் அவசர காலத்தையே சந்தித்த இயக்கம். இதற்கெல்லாம் இப்படிப்பட்ட ஜோடிக்கப்படுகின்ற பொய் வழக்குகளுக்கெல்லாம் கழகம் அஞ்சாது, மக்களும் நம்ப மாட்டார்கள். இவர்கள் சொல்கின்ற குற்றச்சாட்டை, இப்படிப்பட்ட சோதனைகளை மக்கள் நம்ப தயாராக இல்லை. அதே சமயத்தில் நிச்சயமாக இப்படிப்பட்ட புனைகின்ற வழக்குகளை நாங்கள் சட்ட ரீதியாக சந்தித்து அதை சந்திப்பதற்கு தயாராக இருக்கிறோம்.
And there is good news for Tamil Nadu, which has been reeling under acute power shortages lately. The wind energy units across the state have started to generate power more than expected and much earlier than expected. Yesterday alone, these units contributed 2,500 megawatts of electricity. As a consequence of the surplus generation, power cuts in many districts of the state were decreased by an hour. More generation is expected from these units in the forthcoming months. The death toll for dengue fever has risen to 24 following the demise of 2 people in Tirunelveli district. It was the worst hit. While one death reported yesterday in Petai in the Nellai district, 9-month-old baby girl at VK Puttur became the latest victim to the fatal dengue fever spreading rapidly in Tirunelveli. Meanwhile, the State Health Minister V.S. Vijay inspected the health centers in the district and held talks with the officials to contain the spread of the disease. Later, the minister asserted that the disease will be brought under control in 2 weeks. Apparently, a health official was also suspended for inaction and failing to take measures to curb the spread. Medical seat aspirants from various districts of the state complained of shortage of medical applications and inconvenience they are facing due to it. It was announced that these applications will be issued across 17 centers across the state till the 30th of this month. The application forms are said to have been sold out within a few days in many places across the state except Chennai. This has forced these students to travel all the way to Chennai to get their applications. Because of this, a huge rush was witnessed at the Kilpauk Medical College for the applications.
காலையில் 9 மணிக்கு வந்தேன். அப்பத்துலேருந்தே கூட்டம் கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாக தான் இருக்குது. ரொம்ப தூரத்துலேருந்து ட்ராவல் பண்ணுறதுனால ரொம்ப டயர்டாக இருக்குது. கொஞ்சம் அந்தந்த டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டில் கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஈஸியாக இருக்கும் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு. அதை ட்ரை பண்ணலாம்
சார். மற்ற மாவட்டங்களிலும் கொடுத்துருந்தாக்க இங்கே கூட்டம் கொஞ்சம் கம்மியாக இருந்திருக்கும். காலையில் வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 2 மணி நேரமாக நின்றுக்கிறேன், இன்னும் கிடைக்கவே இல்லை. அப்ளிகேஷன் வாங்குறதுக்கு ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன் கேட்குறாங்க, அது எழுதவும் தெரியல. ரெண்டாவது டிடி கேட்குறாங்க, காசு வாங்கி கொடுத்துடலாம். இங்கே டிடிக்காக திரும்ப போயிட்டு திரும்ப வந்து லைனில் நிற்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது, சிரமமாக இருக்குது.
We'll move to a short break now. Stay with us.